Hello everyone, I remain your girl Nkechi Osei. It's been a while. With all this going around now, nobody wants to hear something different. But we'll be talking about a very important issue today, which is incest. Incest is a very serious issue that's eating down into the cankerworms of our nation. Anytime you mention incest, people frown. A lot of people do not want to talk about it, especially our parents today. They sweep this issue under the carpets. Before I go on, I would like to see what the definition that Merriam-Webster gave to incest. Merriam-Webster says that incest is that relationship with a closely related relation. So it is, take for example, father and child, brother and sister, mother and son, sister and sister, as the case may be. It goes a long way to destroy a lot of things in the victim. For many a time, the victim is not focused on. Rather, we hide under the atmosphere of, oh, it's a spiritual issue, they need to pray for them. Some will go to the native doctor, some will go to the pastors, some will go to the imams and all that. But in all these cases, it is actually being frowned at. In the Islamic law, it is not right to practice incest. In the Christianity Bible does not accept incest. So it is something that we need to look into. It is something that everyone is actually delving away from all the time. Though there are authorities and their organizations that are actually working presently to ensure that we put a stop to this. But look at it, if you want to talk about incest today, you cannot talk about incest without talking about rape. Because in the first place, rape is usually the first thing that occurs before incest. Most of the time, the perpetrator is usually stronger or older in age from the victim. So when this is done, there's always rape. And before you know it, consensual approach will be used based on the victim has been demoralized. Okay? And then some people cited examples here that I listed out that I would like to talk about. Now, it was said at some point that children who live with two biological parents are at low risk for abuse. The risk increases when children live with a single parent or step parent. They are 20 times more likely to be victims of child sexual abuse. Do we understand? That is, it was cited by Sadlak et al. 2010. Now, another person said that the common types of incest that is actually being recorded is between the ages of 9 and 16. According to DJ Mena said something about this, which I stated here. He said he cited something at a related article which says that adults who were victims of incest have demonstrated that they show negative serious effects on this. Okay? It's a serious social problem facing society, adolescent, children, even parents, because it is not only those that are involved in this incest that matter. At the long run, the effect of this incest has become something that people need to talk about, because it's the effects that we actually see. Many a time, incest, like I said earlier, are swept under the cover, so nobody hears about it. But when this individual begin to react ruthlessly and irrationally, then those issues are being talked about. Take for instance, a wife in her husband's home doesn't want to have sex with her husband, is not satisfying her husband, and is using sexual doll to please herself, or is masturbating seriously, even publicly. You need to dig into that person's background. Most of the time, that person has been abused at one point or the other by people that are very much trusted. Okay? Now, incest is something else to look out for. How do I mean? But yeah, I got to know that there are actually institutions that fight this. Before I forget, let's just talk about some of them. There's Human Rights Commission, there's Child Protection Network Nigeria, there's police departments. In the police department, you have this family support units. And then you also have people that can reach out to you when you have a problem in that family support unit. There's Adeniji Adele Lagos Island branch, whose phone number is 09062887864. And then the K2 branch, which is 09062887866. I'll call the numbers again. I said the police department, family support unit, there are numbers you can reach out to if you experience any form of abuse within the family, and there are trained people that can actually attend to you. The phone numbers of the Adeniji Adele branch in Lagos Island is 09062887864. And the K2 branch, the numbers are 09062887866. The National Human Rights Commission address is located at 20 Olorunimbe Street, Wema Board Estate, Adeniji Jones. Venue is Ikeja, and the contact person phone number is 08037213380. I'll call the number again, 08037213380. So all these are places you can actually go to and report. Even as a youngster, you can easily run to the place and report. You will have people that will talk to you and make you feel comfortable, and you know that you are not actually in that situation alone. Now I'll be talking about the effects of incest. Number one effect is the feeling of isolation and shame. The victim begins to feel isolated and shameful. They do not want to be seen outside, relating with others. In fact, one of the signs is when a child is very timid. Yeah, that's the word. When you're talking to someone as a young person, you're not able to look at the person's eye. It's different from being shy. This one is timidity and low self-esteem. You start seeing that child begins to look down, not looking at the person he or she is speaking with boldness. There's this feeling of fear, there's this feeling of insecurity the child carries at that point. Do we understand? So you need to look out for those things in a child or even an adult, because some of these things are permanent dents on the lives of the victims. Okay? The second one, they are eating disorders. You just observe that a young person in the house would not want to eat, just stops eating. Somebody that you know likes food a lot, all of a sudden the person is no longer interested in food. You are saying, eat now. I'm not hungry. There's this feeling of anxiety. Any little thing you do, the person jerks up. There's this feeling of anger. There's this feeling of pain. You know, when somebody hurts you and you know that you don't have power over this person, you can't fight this person. Look at it like somebody that is trusted. You are broken inside. That person is actually broken and will not be able to relate properly or fit into the society, except measures are taken to ensure the person gets back to the normal state which they were before they were abused. Okay? You start getting nightmares. People start having nightmares that have been abused, please, as a result of incest. Remember the topic, incest. Incest is a major killer of destiny. A lot of time it has broken a lot of people to the point that even the relationship they have after that, they do not enjoy it because they don't have trust for anybody. If somebody closely related to you can disappoint you that much, how much more somebody outside? Do we understand? There's sleep disturbances, there's suicidality, that is, the person wants to always take his or her life. You don't find life living comfortable any longer. Okay? There's depression, and there's always this feeling of agitation. Before somebody talks to you, you've given the person back, you know. Sometimes it's the background. It's the background. So it is very much key that parents stay together and train their children in the way they should go. That when they are old, they will not depart from it. Studies indicated two common patterns of psychological response to incest, according to Williams and Phil Kester of 1993. The first, and those associated with post-traumatic stress symptomology. The second is an increase in sexualized behavior. That's what I was talking about. You start seeing people having this feeling of sex, you know, imaginary sex, which is where masturbation and the likes come in. Some use dolls, some put even objects like candles inside their private part just to get satisfaction. Okay, you see a lot of them that are involved in prostitution. That's why before you castigate any child, find out where the child is coming from. We all have a role to play in curbing incest, and please, let's not cover incest under the carpet. It goes a long way to destroy the young one, especially your child. Mothers, be warned. We are the most people that, take for instance, a single mother that has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend sleeps in the house where your child is a girl child and is abusing that child. And the child comes to you and say, oh, mommy, this person did this to me. Most times, I've heard mothers, they will say, shut up your mouth. Hashewo, you are the one that actually seduced him. Is you. You're a bad girl. You don't want to have relationship. Hello, excuse me, mother. You need to sit down and have a rethink. It's your future you're joking with. So I would advise all mothers out there that have experienced this incest in the life of their children at some point or the other and have kept quiet, let your conscience begin to rule you, because there are things you need to do for your child that have experienced incest. Things like, the first thing you do when you get wind of the fact that your child have undergone incest, you take that child to the hospital and every check is done. Treatments that needs to be done will be done. Then secondly, you begin to work on that child. You begin to speak positively into that child. You begin to make that child realize that you are not in support of that evil act that that person has actually done. Okay? And you make sure that the perpetrator is duly punished. That is the only way you will get freedom and peace of mind that you are not part of that. And that's another thing that would help you to reach out to your child again and make that child trust you one-on-one. Thank you. It was nice having this session with you, and I hope to speak to us again. Bye.